might have to take notes on this bitch. It's BANDMAN KEVO. Welcome back to the Famous and Wealthy podcast, man. We got my boy Valiq. You know what I'm saying? We're finna get in this topic, man. Today, what we talking about, Brody?
Man, we're going to be talking about how to get the rental arbitrage started, man. How to make cash flow anywhere in the world, man.
Yeah. I mean, so what would you say, like, the number one thing, if somebody was coming from the bottom, right, and was trying to get to the top, what would you suggest? You know what I'm saying?
First, it's mindset over everything, right? You got to build your mindset before you build your skill set. So I would say definitely invest in your mind, because without a strong mind, you might not get into business because things could go left real quick. Right. So the first thing when you want to come up, I would just say read, listen to a podcast or, influencers to motivate you, that's going to get you to the right mindset to invest in yourself, to let you believe that you could do it.
Right. Books and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
For sure, for sure. So what do you make all your money off of as of right now?
So right now I got digital products running on social media and also the cash flow through my investments of my Airbnbs.
Okay. As far as like building a team, what would you suggest if somebody just trying to build a team and get to the next level? How would you build your team up?
That's a great question. So you would go on platforms like TaskRabbit or Thumbtack, and just search for like cleaning people, or search for people like handyman. If you're not a good person like to put furniture and stuff together and assemble things, you got platforms out here or apps out here like Thumbtack and TaskRabbit. And what you would do, you go in there, search, say you need cleaners. You'll go in there, search for cleaners in your local area where you got the property, and they'll come and you just schedule an appointment with them, go through an interview process with them, let them know they'd be a good fit, because it's a business at the end of the day. You don't want to just hire anybody into your team. So they got to give you the best of the best quality. Because they're going to be, I take cleaners as like your property managers, because they're going to be there more than you going to be there, right? Yeah. So when you're not there, you want to make sure somebody is responsible. You want to make sure somebody is doing their job 100% with you there or not. So that for one. For two, you're going to need a photographer, of course, to take the pictures. You can't just take pictures with your iPhone or Android. You know what I mean? So building a team on those two platforms, whatever you need, they're on there.
Yeah. So you said for Airbnb and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, for Airbnb. Yeah.
So as far as like, what do you feel about like if you rent a property out? Let's say if you rent a property out and somebody want to be like a swatter or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, what would you do?
Yeah, so you would probably turn that into a midterm at that point, because rental arbitrage is only some states and local laws, if after 30 days it's now they're considered a tenant. When it comes to rental arbitrage, it's just short stays, short rentals.
So somebody get in your Airbnb or your property or something and don't want to leave. Right,
so then that's what I'm saying. Now that's starting to be more common now in the Airbnb industry. So then you have to go through the process of, going to court with them. And, you got to take them in. You got to go through a whole process, and not that. And this is the killer. You still going to be paying rent. If they not paying, they're not obligated to pay you. So sometimes you still got to pay the landlord the money. Even if you're taking the whole trial of you taking them to court, you still got to be paying that landlord the money, and you're not getting paid by the person that's staying in your house. So that's the biggest thing, making sure like them swatters is crazy. If they get into your unit, it's really nothing you can do but go through the court process.
So how do you feel about that though?
It sucks. Yeah, it sucks. I never experienced it yet, but I pray I don't. But I'm telling you, like, I have spoken to people that have, and it's a long road to get them out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's different. I ain't never really, got into that myself, but I just feel like it's just causing people to lose money, and what I'm saying? And some of them possibly could get like weird and probably destroying this and destroying that and just doing all types of stuff
crazy
like that.
Yeah, man. I did have an experience though when it comes to these people. So what happened was I dropped my prices for like the last 2 months on my listing, right? And then of course when you drop the prices, people that don't got the money going to buy it because it's cheaper, right? Yeah. So these two individuals brought it at the cheapest rate, because once I make my profit, I always drop my rate to close out the calendar, right? So that's when all the cheap people come in and start booking your slots for like. So they came in, destroyed the property, took my TVs off the wall, started spraying things all over my furniture and stuff like that.
So you didn't sue them?
No, I didn't sue them till I contacted the platform that I was on, and they reached out to them and said they was going to handle the situation. I don't know what they did behind the scenes, but that's all I had to do was reach out to them, and they took care of it from there.
Oh, okay. So how many students you working with right now that signed up for your mentor?
Right now we're working with 15 in our community. We have a community cost 30 to 6 figures. 15 members are in our community right now.
Oh, that's what's up. Man, so that Airbnb stuff making money like that, huh?
Yeah, it's making money. And the thing is, a lot of individuals keep saying Airbnb is going downhill, but the stats show that it's rising. It's still rising. Me as a host, as a super host, I'm still making profit off my units. You know what I mean? A lot of people saying on social media, things like that, that the Airbnb host is not making not making as much money,
Right.
but Airbnb is still cashing out if you do the business right. It's a lot of individuals that's on Airbnb and don't know how to run. They think they could just buy a unit, post it on the platform, and make bread. It don't work that way. You really gotta access it like it's a real business and manage it like a business.
What do you think some secrets is that, you know, people that don't really know about the Airbnb business that you would want to tell them?
I would say the secrets when it comes to Airbnb is really looking at your competition and seeing what's around and making sure that you're up to date with them, and always adjust your prices. A lot of people just post one time and thinking it's done. So the secret is you got to look at that's what I'm saying. You always got to look at the market. You always got to see what's in the area, so that way you could adjust your prices accordingly. And another secret is make sure you stand out by having a lot of color and a lot of warming and a lot of welcoming things into your property, so people can actually feel like they, you know, love their booking.
Like, as far as the reviews, you think the reviews is important?
Oh, reviews is 100% important. Anything when it comes to Airbnb, your bloodline of the business goes off reviews. That's like when you go out to a restaurant, what you do, first thing you do is look at the reviews to see, is this place good or not? So every time somebody look at your listing, the first thing they're going to do is look at the reviews, because they want to see, before I spend money on this property, I want to make sure I'm staying safely. I want to make sure I'm staying in a spot that is said it is. So they're going to look at all the customer reviews. That's a bloodline. The two main things when it comes to Airbnb is pictures and reviews.
Right. I understand. That makes sense. Okay. Let me see what else we can. Mark. So as far as with this, what motivates you to do what you're doing?
Man, so I didn't come from a family with money, right? I think God put something in my spirit that I was going to be the one to change the generational wealth of my family. Because I feel, as I tell myself, that's why I call myself Mr. Anti-Fatigue, because if it's not me, then who? Nobody else in my family has a drive. And, you know what I mean, I'm 27 years old, and all I was raised on was go to school, go to work, and then pay bills. I was never raised on investing. I was never raised on make your money work for you, you know what I mean? Because this information that's exposed now, my parents, it was never exposed back then. So nobody was never taught. We was never taught this. So what made me go is I'm going to be that guy. Even if I'm not here, I know for a fact that when I leave this earth, I'm still going to have my name tied down to the generational wealth that I changed in our family.
Oh, hard. That's what's up. So, let me see what else I want to ask you about the Airbnb business. What was your best year in Airbnb?
Best year in Airbnb, I would say last year. Last year was my best Airbnb.
Like as far as that income, what's the most you made though?
50,000.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, 50,000, and that was just off. That was 50,000 off one unit.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's hard.
We had one unit.
How do you screen guests?
How do I screen guests? So on Airbnb they screen guests themselves.
Yeah.
But what I do when somebody book with me, I tell them send me their identification, because I just want to make sure the name that's on the booking match the person that's gonna be staying with me. So I just tell them, hey, if you book the spot, I tell my assistant go ahead and make sure they send that ID verification card as well to match the names up.
Oh, okay. So what happens in the event that the property or the contents are damaged, broke? Okay, so what happens if anything in the property is broken, damaged, or need to be fixed?
Yeah, so on Airbnb they got the resolution center, right? So you could go in there and it's going to ask you. Airbnb is very good at this, so it's going to say if you have any damaged items in the property, they're going to replace it, but you just got to make sure you have the receipt and you got to take a picture of the item that's damaged. Once you do that, you will send it into the Airbnb platform on the resolution center, and it's going to you got to put all the information in. You got to put the guests in and things like that, and then they'll send you a refund of the merchandise. But first, they're going to ask the guests to pay for it. The guests don't pay for it, then Airbnb is going to take it.
Okay. Well, Airbnb sound like it needs to be something I need to get into more. Yeah. I'm into buying properties though, you know what I mean? So I'll be into that, and just doing a long-term rental, which that's easier for swatters, I think. But Airbnbs is definitely it though. So, I want to know what does the lease look like for the instant booking or direct bookings?
What does the lease look like? As far as The lease. To sign.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what I do is I just go on. Well, I have my assistant go on. Well, depending on the state that you in, because every lease agreement is different from each state that you know what I mean. So where I'm at, when it comes to DC, they got their own lease agreement. Virginia, anywhere in the world. So I just go on typical lease agreement. But you got to make sure it's important. If you're running it as a business, you want to make sure that it's a commercial lease agreement. It's not a residential lease agreement, because sometimes when it comes to black and white, or if you get caught up, then that could be a good big lawsuit if you don't have the proper information on that lease agreement.
So what is the risk with Airbnb?
The risk?
Yeah.
The risk when it comes to Airbnb, depending on a lot of individuals do Airbnb wrong. You know what I mean? And it's a big fines if the state catch you doing it illegally.
Like what are some illegal ways you think that people doing out right now?
Because right now, so now the whole market when it comes to Airbnb is transitioning into getting permits and getting licensing. So if you don't have the permit or licensing, you will still be able to list it on Airbnb. But if the state catch you, then it's just they might, it's whatever they want to do. I don't know exactly what they're going to do. They might find you, or you know what I mean, or just tell you shut the property down. You know what I mean?
Right. But I see a lot of people doing it, right? And like as far as the people that's doing it, maybe they might be doing it right or might be doing it wrong. But what will you think that will make them want to do it with you? As far as like, if I'm outside looking in, I want to work with you. Like, what do you do different than everybody else that's doing it?
Yeah, so what I do, I do everything right. So I want to make sure everything's on paper, black and white. I want to make sure the landlord understand what we're doing as working with me as a partner, and building long-term relationships. So what I do, I teach people exactly, OPM, how to use not your money but the bank's money to invest in a property. I teach them exactly from A to Z the legal documents on what you need to provide to the landlord, the addendum letter to let them know that you're going to be listing on multiple platforms, and have them sign it. So that way everybody knows what's going on. You know what I mean? And if you do get caught up in a situation where with a tenant or a guest, then you have the legal documents to prove that you're doing everything you're supposed to do the right way.
All right. So as far as like, what would be something that you would tell us that don't nobody really like talk about, as far as like, what goes on inside of Airbnb that like as far as scams, or like what do people be doing that you know about but don't nobody really know about?
Fake addresses. A lot of fake addresses. Now in 2024, Airbnb just recently changed their books. Now you gotta show, before you even list a property, you gotta show proof that that's the address and that's the property now, because of the fact that people was getting scammed. Guests was booking people properties and it wasn't the property that they booked because they had the wrong address on the platform.
Oh damn.
So now,
so would they just get like a refund, or how would
they? So I mean, I don't know how to Airbnb change the situation, but when I always read up on the news, but now it's like people is just listing, posting something and it's sending them to a whole different address. So Airbnb cracked down on that quick. And now you got to show the address, and you got to just prove that's the right address.
Damn.
And the cameras too. Cameras now, you can't have people was putting cameras in the inside. They crack down on that too. When you list your property, they're going to it's a list that you got to go through to show like no inside cameras. You got to check it, or where you got to go in detail where every camera is if you do have one on the property.
So no cameras. Damn, people had cameras in the inside.
People had cameras in the inside too. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they that's what now is. It's strictly got to be outside.
Oh, okay. What's usually the length? The times usually people be staying the longest when they dealing with you, like in Airbnb?
I got my listing open for 28 or less. Only reason why, because I was short term. If I do 30 days or more, it's considered a midterm, long term. And then now, it's say for example, we just talked about the swatters, but say for example, somebody stay more than 30 days. Now they're considered a tenant now. And then now it's going to be harder for them to leave the property if they're there more than 30 days. So I only list my properties for 28 days or less.
Oh, that's smart as hell. Yeah, that's smart. Okay, let me see. So are you even interested in owning any properties yourself?
Absolutely. So I'm about to transition now. Instead of asking landlords for permission to use their property, I'm about to start buying distressed properties, turning them into an Airbnb, so I can start still making the cash flow and equity at the same time.
No, for sure. Yeah, that's hard.
Yep, so I'm definitely about to start transitioning into that. It's just going to be, I think it's just going to be better as well, and it's going to be better when it comes to paperwork. you know, and less stress. Because when you talk to a property manager or a landlord, you got to get the permission from them. You got to know the language. You got to know the scripts. You got to know, you know, exactly what you're doing so they can understand. You know what I mean? And then a lot of people, when it comes to this stuff, is red flagging because they say Airbnb to the landlords.
Right.
Number one thing you don't want to do is say Airbnb because it's considered a party to a landlord.
Any other ventures you got going on?
Any other ventures I got going on right now? Really just focusing on just rental arbitrage right now. Yeah. That's the main thing. I want to get into other things, but I just want to just keep building on this rental arbitrage and keep scaling.
You got an ebook or course or anything else?
Yeah, we got an ebook. We got an ebook. We got courses. If you're interested in getting the course, then go ahead and, like I said, I got a link in my bio. To click the link in my bio on my Instagram. My Instagram is Mr. Anti-Fatigue, and all the information is.
So what's all mostly in the the ebooks and the courses you talking about, like the breakdowns?
Yeah, so in the ebooks, it just basically that's good for somebody that's really wanting to get started out because it gives like basically everything you need to know from starting with little to no money at all, and then all the way up to the right information to actually, you know, get your first property. In the courses, we like in the Started to Six Figures, I got a partnership with my guy B, and in that, it's just real estate overall. He do fix and flip, I do rental arbitrage. So we teaching everything in one community of how to invest in real estate, either when it comes to buying distressed property, turning to a real estate, or selling it, or when it comes to just getting a unit, when it comes to Airbnb and scaling from there, and how to, like you said, OPM, how to use the base money, not your money, if you don't have the capital to start.
So you were just telling me that you got partnerships with somebody that do fix and flips?
Yeah.
So that must be Brian.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
me.
Brian, what you do as far as the fix and flip go?
Yeah, so I do the fix and flip side. So like my dog said, he gonna teach you how to get cash flow in the Airbnb, which is monthly recurring income.
Okay.
I do the fix and flip. So as you get a check once, but it might be a lump sum. You know what I'm saying? You just keep doing it over and over.
Okay. So as far as the fix and flips, how long you been doing that?
About 2 years now.
2 years?
Yeah.
Okay. How's the income coming with that?
Income cool. Like average flip, you get about 40 to 50. So you know what I'm saying? Even if you do like a couple or 3 a year, it'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta. Some people want to do a lot. Some people may just do a few. Be well off.
Right. So. As far as like with the fix and flips, I see a lot of people doing the fix and flips, but I wanted to get into it. You know what I mean? But I didn't know. Like I'm thinking like, what's the best place to really do it at? Like, is it like Texas, Georgia, like Chicago? Like what's like the 3 top states you would pick for fix and flips?
Right. Well, for me, I started out in Maryland because I went to school in Baltimore. So yeah, Baltimore, obviously, a lot of people know it's a lot of houses that's sold for like very low price. Right. So it was easy for me to start out there because it was already in proximity. Now, anybody else that may be looking to start in a hometown or somewhere around there, I would say just look on sites like Realtor.com or start connecting with people that's in the real estate industry, like in Facebook groups and things like that, and you can start seeing what properties are going for in the area, how the transactions are looking. How many homes are selling? Are they selling fast? Are they selling slow? So it's really just like, you know, immersing yourself and getting information about your market. And then from there, you can figure out, you know, is this a good place where I can start flipping real estate?
Now, as far as like the real estate, like I was like, let me get a property. Let me build up the equity in the property. Mm-hmm. And then over the time, let me go take a loan out on my property or do whatever. Now, you getting the money fast, but I know you got to get the property probably, the equipment wholesale. I don't know how you doing. Are you buying a land first and or are you buying well, no, you can't be buying a land if you buying a fix and flip. So you buying the cheapest property you see online?
It's not always the cheapest because it's the cheapest don't mean it's going to make sense numbers wise. You know what I'm saying? You could find a property that's $200,000 and it's going to it might be a better deal than something that's $30,000. It all depends on how much you can sell it for, how much work you need. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to run the numbers and figure out what's your ROI. How much am I going to make on this property? Right. You know, so it's not always about finding the cheapest property, but those are the most common ones. If you're looking to flip, it's going to be the cheaper ones because you got more, you know, it's bigger spread.
Right. So would you go to the auction and get the property?
I don't mess with auctions, but some people do. A lot of people have success with it. The reason why I don't is because a lot of times they don't let you go see the property. So you got to just buy it and hope, you know what I'm saying, that rehab budget's going to fit. You know what I'm saying? What I hear some people do is they just, you know, break somebody off maybe like $100 to go through the property, take some photos, send it to them, whatever, but I don't really mess with those. I go like directly to seller or I go on the market.
How important it is to have good partners who has the same mindsets, you think?
As far as like in the real estate industry or like?
Yeah, like how you and bro is.
Oh,
like,
it's everything. Like everything 10x. Like when I linked up with bro, like we met in a room. Like we live in the same area, but we knew each other mutually. We ain't even like, our first time meeting was in a $20,000 room. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at that point, you already know we on the same type time.
Right.
You feel me? But if you just working with anybody and they don't got the vision, it's like, it's gonna slow you down. You feel me? So you gotta even like, it's even better to be alone and be with somebody that's not gonna be on the same.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you just lock in. But once you do find.
So you learned from him with the Airbnb. He learned from you from the fix and flips.
Yeah, iron sharpen iron.
And that's a beauty when it comes to like finding like-minded individuals, because you can't just you gotta be around people that could bring you value as well too. Because if you're the smartest and if you're the smartest in your circle, how you winning? You know what I mean? So it's just very important to surround yourself with people that's like-minded, the people that got the same vision as you, and that can actually, you put into them, they put into you. You know what I mean? Because if you got value in something, that's a plus. You know what I mean? If I'm telling you all the value, how am I growing? You know what I mean? As an individual. So
what do y'all both think that y'all can do to take y'all businesses to the next level?
Just keep working, like keep, you know what I'm saying? Keep like marketing, keep working, keep perfecting our craft, keep growing in ourselves. That's gonna help us like help other people. So it just starts with us. So that's
I always say invest, like put more into you, because at the end of the day, it's you. You know what I mean? You got to provide the information. You got to go out there and get the information. So if you want to increase in a business, keep investing in yourself to get the information to increase your business.
So just like me, I'm my own brand. Do you guys believe that putting more money into a business or your own self, which one you think is more effective?
It start with self.
It start with self.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: like when you say brand, you mean like as far as like a presence, or you mean like in yourself, like mentally, like education,
like in my presence, like it's both really, because like me, I'm okay. So you see how you dump money into fix and flips, he dump money into Airbnb. I dump money into myself, and when I grew myself, I became like a walking business to be able to make money. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like people will dump money. I will dump money. Right. Bigger companies will dump money into me as a big brand. So I always push that on people. Like, as far as getting to another level, you should definitely invest into yourself, because you just never know where you can take. Like, I might go buy a building, but the building might not make me a billionaire. Like, I could make me a billionaire.
Right. Exactly. You're right, though.
You understand what I'm saying? So I always tell people that they don't really believe in themselves. You know what I mean? That much. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, a company is cool, but I feel like the more money I dump into myself, I could possibly be a billionaire.
Right?
Somebody might want to invest, because a building or an Airbnb will be sitting, but who's going to say, hey, let me dump $1 billion on this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think about that. Ain't nothing wrong with having it, you know what I mean? But it's just a bigger picture, like, as far as, because I might want to come to your company just because of you. And and help him. I might want to invest a couple $100,000 because he's really good with fixing flips. So I might want to give you $1 million because you're the best with Airbnbs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I'm looking at it. Like, as far as the more you guys blow up and everybody start knowing who y'all is, the more people will want to invest their money with y'all.
Absolutely.
I see that point.
Outside looking in.
That's what I see. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's just how, like, we sit on social media all day and we stroll up and down and we like, damn, like, we looking at different celebrities, but what we see is favor from companies and people who dumping into their brand, and everybody's liking. That's why they have a lot of likes and a lot of comments, because all the favor that's coming to them. You know what I mean?
No,
but what we might do is we might take our money and put our money into a building and favor that building or favor that car or favor this, not our own self.
Not ourselves.
Yeah.
You know
I think that's the main thing though. Like you said, it's just like whatever you choose, you just gotta go hard. Like if you're great at what you do, people going, you know what I'm saying, they gonna want to see what's up, or they gonna want, they might invest in you, like you said. So whether if it's business, whether it's a brand, you just gotta go hard and believe in it.
Have any one of y'all ever tried to get an investor?
Oh yeah, for sure. I started with no money, so I, you know what I'm saying. That's how I started for me. It was like OPM.
So what would you do what would you do right now, right? Like, watching this video, what would you do right now to actually retain the investor? Like, what would you guys do to, like, get an investor?
You talking to me or you?
Both of y'all.
Okay. You go ahead, babe. You can start.
Well, first you gotta have the skill set down. First, you gotta know what you're talking about, because you know how you're gonna start asking people for money. They gonna want to know exactly where that money going, when it's coming back. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? So, you gotta get the skill set first. Know what you're doing. Learn the game. Learn the market. From there, you just start going out, start finding deals, right? Yeah. Now, once you do that, now you can start presenting that deal. Like, listen, I got an opportunity for you. I found this deal. I can manage it. I can do everything. If you want to bring the capital, break it off 50-50 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? However y'all want to break it off.
Right.
But yeah, number one is having a skill set, and then you can start looking for investors. I would really say too, though, some people can't, but I would really say start doing something by yourself first, then get investors just to make sure you can do it.
Exactly.
You don't
want portfolio, and then because they'll be like, well, because they'll feel like they're taking a risk with their money, and you didn't even take a risk with your own money.
Yeah, for sure.
Bring us back to step one, like dump the money into yourself first.
Yeah. And that's what I was about to say. I was about to say my number one is social proof first. You got to show people that you're doing what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So if you can't have nothing to show for, why they gonna trust in you? You know what I mean, from the jump. Right. So that's when it comes to like when people reach out to Airbnb, I post all the time and I show that I'm really in the field. Like this is what I really do. So if you really serious and not curious and want to get into the information, then that's when we could take that leap after you see what I'm doing. And then, like I said, then it comes building the trust and having the funds and splitting how we ever going to get started and what you'd want to do. You know what I mean? So I think that's a big thing. Like, cause at Airbnb, like, a lot of people think it's so much. You gotta have so much, startup, and you really don't. You know what I mean? And people think it takes a long time. And
what about this though? When you doing Airbnb, do you start off with somebody else's property, or are you actually retaining the property and then doing Airbnb?
Right. So So what happens is you will find a property that you want. Say somebody want to get into Airbnb, you will find a property that you want, no matter where it is in the state, right? You'll find it, and then on Zillow. So then you will contact the owner, or you'll contact the property manager, right? And then a lot of people say, I want to do Airbnb. That's wrong. So you'll contact that property manager, you'll contact that landlord and say, hey, is it okay if I do corporate? Are you open to corporate housing? Right? Some people might know what that is, some people not. And then you'll say, I provide housing for medical and business professionals. So now, instead of saying Airbnb, which in their mind is a red flag because of parties, thing like that, now they're saying, you just provide for medical business professionals and also outside travelers, right? It just sounds more put together. And then now it give them more of a green light and an understanding of what you're doing. So at that point, then they'll break down like, hey, I have professional cleaners that's going to come in and always keep your property in sales condition, right? You know what I mean? A lot of landlords, like, a lot of problems when it comes to landlords and tenants is they damage their property, right? They don't pay rent on time. And, with us, when it comes to why we're the green light is because we got professional cleaners, so your house is always going to be in sales condition. 2, we pay rent on time because it's a business. And, I can't run my business if I'm not having if I'm not having a unit paid for, so I'm not making money. It's a bad deal, so we always pay rent on time. And then 3 is we just always just making sure, like, it's ran successfully. You know what I mean? It's ran like accordingly. It's ran how it's supposed to run. It's no problems. The landlord's happy. He's getting his money every rent without no problems. His house is always clean. It's just a green light when it comes to when it comes to talking to a landlord.
All right. So what motivates you, bro?
For a fix and flip?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get some money, bro. Like, I ain't want to be broke. So when I came out of college, it was actually 2020. So during like COVID time, end of 2019, 2020. So when I first started entrepreneurship, it's crazy too though, because me and Leak started the same way before we even knew each other. So coming out of college, I tried I was working at my college job, but it was only like $10.75 an hour, so I wasn't doing much, keeping the lights on. And I would like DoorDash, like just to have extra bread. So I was just trying to figure out a way, how can I make some more money? Tried a couple jobs, man. I couldn't stay. Like some people just got that mindset where it's like it's hard to be confined in a certain environment where it's like you can be doing more. So I just went back to my college job. I took the lower pay, but I had more time to build my dream. You know what I'm saying? So I took that exchange. That was cool.
Right.
So from there, I tried certain things. I probably tried about 5 to 7 different things. I make a little bit of money here and there, but it was like never really something I feel like I could sustain and like build. You know what I'm saying? So then I came across like certain advertisements and people that look like me, like young black people that was buying real estate with no money out of their pocket. So I started tapping in, like, how they doing that? Like I'm trying to figure out how to do that. So once I got the game doing that, I just executed. Like I just went hard with it, and I started seeing results. So that's how I went about that.
You were just saying you did DoorDash before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot of people that's watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that they working jobs right now. Like, let them know, like, put them in a position where, like, starting off, what would you tell them to do, like, at that position you was at, like, to get to your point of the level of where you at, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people watching, so it's kind of like, I be always trying to tell them, but I feel like people be thinking my level is just too high or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you got to put them at that work field. Like, man, I was here at this time, and I was working, and I know if I can do it, you can do it. Because I always tell them, if I can do it, they can do it. But they just like, man, bro, it's,
you are,
know what I'm saying?
crazy.
So I'd rather hear it from y'all. Like, you know, y'all put them in a position of where y'all was when y'all was working, like how y'all really got up. Even if it don't have to be crazy, just somebody, some like young kid that's 18, 19 that's trying to like make that next move.
So I would say, listen, like, you know, it's nothing wrong with working a job. Just make sure you just use that money to grow, make that money grow, make that money make babies by investing that money. You know, a lot of people work a job or work a 9-to-5 job and, you know, use that money just to pay bills. You need to save some of that money to start investing in you. You know what I mean? Start building you. Use that. It's just money. It's money. So use that money to not only just pay bills, but use that money to build something. You know what I mean? You you know, no matter what you make, you know, find a solid number that you could at least put something away so you could still build or invest in yourself and an asset, because at the end of the day, your current situation is never your final destination, but it's up to you to change. So you just got to make sure that once you start, just make sure that you keep going. You know what I mean? And don't never quit. No matter what your situation is, like, you could do it no matter what. You just got to save your money and invest that money to make more money.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of kids is distracted too.
Yeah, for sure.
They have a lot of distractions, like, you know, the game, the phone, the girls.
Definitely.
100%. That's what mainly be their problems. But
it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. Like, you gotta just focus. So basically what Lee was saying, like, you gotta steward your time. So when I was DoorDashing, when I was working, it was like, man, even when I was DoorDashing, like in a car, I would have educational stuff on, or at least like inspirational music. You know what I'm saying? At the minimum, like some Nipsey or something.
That's some sauce right there.
Yeah, you feel me? So it's like you really gotta make sure you're using your time wisely. So anytime I got off, I had to go DoorDash, I was doing that. And once I got home, I was probably studying, I was in my books. During the weekends, same thing. I wasn't really going out. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really doing much. I was really trying to stay dedicated to my craft, because the sooner I can, like, the more work I would put in, is the sooner I can get out of that situation.
Right.
So I was just like building my time and putting work in. And then from there, it's like,
I feel like this, like, if I don't have no money at all and I'm sitting in the car and listening to music or something, I'd rather put on stuff that can teach me gaming. Because it's all, if you notice, bro, every time you go on YouTube, it's a lot of game. Free games of how people is doing this, trading, e-commerce. Right now, y'all watching this video, Airbnb, you know what I mean? Credit card stuff, this, that. It's so much game. All you have to do is take the time and just listen to it, study it, master it. If you want to get deeper into it, go get books and, like, you just can't I feel like a lot of people just want the money to fall in their hands.
Man.
It's more than just, oh, man, teach me the game. And then you teach them the game and be like, that's it? You be like, bro, I just told you everything, what to do, how to do it, when to do it. They just like, man, but it's really just they want you to just hand it to them. That's really all.
It don't work that way.
And it's like, I had to study, nigga, you got to study. You know what I mean? Like, shit, I didn't study for years and years, books and books, and met people and people, did mentors and mentors, like everything. I done did a whole lot.
And my fault. Go ahead. I was about to say, it's even crazy. You brought something up, and it's a crazy story me and Leak dealt with. It's like, you said people want to hand it to him. Me and Leak even done that for certain people. It's like, hand it to them. And they still, like, you know what I'm saying? They still want money to play. They still want to do something.
So they feel like you hand it to them, then they get it, and then they feel like it's not enough.
Not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because why? Because they're not really used to it. You know what I mean? Or they might be used to it, but they just don't too much care because they want you to keep giving it and giving it and giving it and giving it.
Exactly.
They don't want to really do too.
They don't want work.
To get results, it takes work.
It takes work.
You know what I mean? Now, if somebody just doing this and doing this, you're never gonna really appreciate it. You're never gonna be. You're never gonna really be able to like see, like understand it, like how it's supposed to go. Like,
because you ain't
like,
do it.
Even though I'm at this level, I still grind like I'm at a lower level. Like, as far as grinding, I'm like still like doing everything, like promos, doing this, doing that. You know what I mean? Like, hustling hard. You gotta hustle hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you definitely got to, and then you just got to execute off the information. A lot of people, and this is a thing. That's why it's so important when it comes to mentorship, because of course it's supposed to 10x your time faster, right? Because you're gonna go through all the bumps and bruises. That's the number one. But the thing is, a lot of people want to invest in themselves, but don't execute off the information, and then they say it don't work. It don't work because you didn't work it.
Right.
It's a lot of people that had the success on the same information that actually put the work in, but the reason why you didn't, because you didn't work it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people in our community sometimes, like, they reach out and things like that. And I go back and we ask our assistant, okay, have this person looked at any information? We look at them, they have 0%. And then why is it not working? Oh, it's not working because you haven't learned, you haven't watched or read anything, because we see it. You have 0% on the portal. Oh, I'm sorry, I've been busy. Oh, no, it's not. You just want it handed to you.
Right.
You gotta work it. Information it's there. You just gotta execute off of it.
Right. So as far as like the course you got right now, how would they go to it, and you know what I mean? How would they like get in tune with you if they want to get in tune with you?
So we have masterclass every Sunday, free masterclass. You just click the link, like I said on my Instagram, Mr. Anti-Fatigue. Click that link and register for the free masterclass.
How do they spell it? Instagram.
Mr. ANTIFATIGUE.
Okay.
Yep, Mr. Dot, anti-fatigue. Click the link in the bio. It's going to ask you to register, opt in, and then it's going to give you access to our masterclass. And our masterclass is completely free. It's going to teach you everything that we know when it comes to, Airbnb and the real estate industry overall from A to Z.
Okay. And both of y'all work together?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So what's your IG?
One Brian Latham. So the word spelled out. So ONEBRIANLATHAM.
Any more game y'all want to drop on us though?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Whatever y'all want.
Yeah, so in the Airbnb industry, is you got to kind of move quick, right? And why I say you got to move quick, because the moment you sign that lease, you paying rent. So if that money is not on that market, you losing money, because those are the days that could be getting booked so you could pay that landlord. So I always say you got up to 24 to 48 hours to really start to finish a unit to get it on the market, so you ain't coming out of pocket to pay that landlord for the next month. Right. And it's also important to do advanced shopping. A lot of people wait to the last minute to do to do shopping. Now they waiting on furniture. Now you say the couch don't come into a week. You know what I mean? And that's a whole week of that could have got booked. You know what I mean? So you wasting a whole lot of time right there. So know what you want, know the theme, know the decor and things that you want, the colors, and just start doing advanced shopping. So while you on the looking phase, you already have stuff ready to go. So once you sign, you checking out, that stuff getting delivered, you getting your whole team together, get that unit up and running, and boom, now you making money. And it's so important too as well to just make sure that the property is going to make money. You can't just buy a property and just leave it there and just think it's going to make money. You really got to analyze the deal. And what I mean is, you find a property on Zillow, apartment.com, rent.com, and you do the math on it. You know how much, and then how to analyze. You could use this platform, AirDNA or MashVisor. What that's going to do is going to analyze the whole property for you. It's going to show you how much cash flow you making. It's going how much the money generated last year and how much it generated a couple months last year, so you can see your numbers. You know what I mean? Right. So you will know. It gives you a clear insight idea of how much profit you're going to be making before you even sign that deal. You know what I mean? So you already know you're going into it making money. That's why it's like, okay, yeah, this property, after all expenses, utilities, and things like that, I'm going to be making this amount. Cash flow, right? Cool. Right. I'm investing in it. So that, and also when it comes to Airbnb and decor, colors. I always say colors, like, make it so bright. Nobody want to stay in a door spot. So my units are so bright and it's colorful. That's why I think it does. It does a lot onto the market, because when you come in, you got things that just pop out to you, that stand out to you. You know what I mean? And when you post on the algorithm, it's like your unit stands out because it's the brightest on the algorithm. So it's like, damn, what's this? Let me click on it, and then it just go crazy from there. Right. And then I always a quick hack is I put a flyer. I always give my guests a free bottle of wine, snacks, and a flyer. On that flyer, say thanks for booking. I give you a 10% discount next time you book with us, and also leave a 5-star review. Yeah. So that's a hack too as well for anybody that want to get more reviews.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that Airbnb game sick. What you got, my boy?
I would just say make sure you got a solid team with you. You know what I'm saying? Like when you fix and flip real estate, like make sure you got a good contractor, number one. I know a lot of y'all watching this heard about scary contractor stories with, them running off on money, $10,000-$30,000. So make sure you got a trustworthy contractor. You're not paying them all the money up front. You paying them like little portions by the job. And then just make sure you got a good realtor that's going to list your property correctly, market it correctly, get you a nice offer. And then from there, like, just executing, like really just making sure you execute. Getting the information is one thing, but once you get it, you got to just go execute, because anybody that's watching this can do it. It's no different from me. Like anybody in here, it's no different. You just gotta execute. That's what's gonna separate most people. So, yeah.
Another hack on a Airbnb game is also when you about to list it. Always give a 20% or more, depending on, it's up to you. I always do 20% for the first 3 bookings just to get it out there. You know what I mean? Just to get it out there, just so people can see a discount. You know what I mean? Everybody love discounts. So, like, I always list my properties. When I list them, I always say 20% discount for the first 3 bookings.
Right.
And then if they do book, then when they leave, I give them, if you book again with us, I'm going to give you a 10% discount if you come back. You know what I mean? They're just little hacks like that just goes a long way. You know what I mean? Also, it's just really marketing it too. You know what I mean?
I was just going to tell you, marketing, how you handle that?
Social media. So I have guests. So in my unit, I have QR codes. So I'll always say, like, hey, when they look through the book, they see a QR code, it has our social media on there. And I say, scan this, record a video, and, you know, market it that way. Or word of mouth, you know what I mean? Word of mouth as well, too. Like, I had a lot of bookings from word of mouth, and really mostly on social media. Just having the guest scan that QR code is going to send them directly to my Airbnb.
Do you feel like location is important for Airbnb?
Oh, absolutely. Location is the number one thing. You want to be in tourist attractions. And
right.
I always say by tourist attractions, I always say by hospitals, and I always say by hotels. Because really, this is another hack. Hotels and hospitals and things like that, of course, they spend millions of dollars on marketing data, on the research of making sure that it's going to be profitable, especially hotels. They're not going to build a hotel if it's not going to make money on this land. So why not steal them marketing dollars, $1 million marketing dollars that they put in it? If you know it's a hotel there and you a couple blocks from the hotel, well, you know you in a pretty good location. I might have to stay around this area. You know what I mean? Sure. Airports as well, too. You know what I mean? Nobody, when you get off the plane, nobody want to travel an hour to go to I'm trying to go down, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to go down the street 15, 20 minutes. So you want to make sure that location is key. I'm glad you brought, you know what I mean? You brought that up.
Location is crazy. every time I go somewhere, I be like, damn, our Airbnb like an hour away.
Yeah.
It's always them big crazy houses be far as hell. Airport, you got to drive, and you're like, damn. Like, so location is very key. That's what I said. Key. So what about like okay, we in Miami. What state that you recommend? Like if you had $1 million, where would you build most of your homes at?
If I had $1 million, where I build most of my
Airbnb
homes out, I would say Miami for one. A lot of people visit Miami. I would say Miami. I would say by the beaches, Florida,
like Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando. Yeah. All
especially
spots.
Orlando. I'm sleeping on Orlando. Orlando, that Walt Disney. Yeah, man, sure. Them people be booked up so much.
Yeah, for sure.
And the houses are cheaper.
Way cheaper.
Also,
I would this what I'm going to do actually too. Later on down the road, I want to go. A lot of people like the nature, you know, being outside. So I want to build like a mobile homes in the woods somewhere. Because,
if you do those. The little mobile homes where they like, they look like the little bubbles and all.
Exactly.
The nice people love them.
Definitely, and it's outside, man. It's like being in nature, you know, in the middle of the woods.
Seen that.
I want to definitely going to do something like that too.
Famous and Wealthy podcast sponsored by Bandclan University. So what's the site you want to give them, man?
So go to www.acceleratethesixfigures.com.
Accelerate-the-six-figures.com. Okay, and everything you'll find on there is about what?
Everything you find on there from A to Z when it comes to how to properly start an Airbnb business and how to properly start a fix and flip real estate business as well too.
And you can find you on there too, right?
Yeah, we on the same jump. Yep.
Okay, bet. So
yep.
All right, peace. We out.